Chapter 7. Force, Work and Energy. Let's learn about force, simple machine, energy. Look at your surroundings. You will observe that some objects like cars and buses are moving, while some like trees, signboards, doors and windows are stationary. Still, the state of motion of a body is determined by the fact that it is moving or not. A body is said to be in motion if it is moving and at rest if it is not moving. Force. We already know that the state of motion can be changed by applying force. Force is defined as a push or pull which changes or tries to change the state of motion of a body when acting on it. Some common examples of force are pushing or pulling a door to open it, a vegetables vendor pushing the cart to move it, and kicking a ball. Effects of force. A force can change the shape of an object, stop a moving object, move a stationary object, change the direction of a moving object, change the speed of a moving object. Types of forces. There are different types of forces. Muscular force. Muscular force. When we push, pull or lift something, we apply muscular force. Gravitational force. The force with which the earth pulls everything towards its center is called gravitational force or gravity. If you throw anything upwards, they come down due to the earth's gravity. Frictional force. Why does a sliding box stop after some time? This is because of the force of friction. Frictional force slows down a moving object. We are able to walk because of frictional force. Electrostatic force. When a piece of plastic is rubbed with wood, it becomes charged and acts like a magnet. This force is said to be electrostatic force. For example, when a rubber balloon is rubbed vigorously on hair, the balloon gets charged and attracts small bits of paper. Mechanical force. Most simple machines make use of mechanical force. For example, a pair of scissors uses mechanical force to cut something. Point force. If we push down a mug or a block of wood floating on water, we feel an upward thrust. The upward push of water on a floating object is called buoyant force or upthrust. This force acts on every object, even on you when you enter a swimming pool. Infobit. A force applied on an object does not always cause it to move. Example, pushing a wall. Simple machines. A machine is a tool which is used to make work easier. Simple machines are simple tools used to make work easier. There are mainly 5 types of simple machines. Compound machines have 2 or more simple machines working together to make work easier. In science, work is defined as a force acting on an object to move it across a distance. Pushing, pulling and lifting are common forms of work. Levers. A lever is a rigid rod that car turn on move about a fixed point or support. It consists of the following three parts. Fulcrum. The fixed point or the support around which the rod moves is called the fulcrum. Load. The object which we are trying to move or lift is called the load. Effort. The force used to move the load is called the effort. Types of lever. Lever can be classified according to the position of the fulcrum, the load and the effort. When the fulcrum is in between the load and the effort, it is a first class lever. When the load is in between the fulcrum and the effort, it is a second class lever. When the effort is in between the fulcrum and the load, it is a third class lever. The inclined plane. An inclined plane is a slope that helps to move a heavy load with less effort. A ramp in hospitals is an example of an inclined plane. Wheelchairs and stretchers can be easily pushed up and down these ramps. A slide is another example of inclined plane. Infobit. A wedge is a simple machine made by joining two inclined. The pulley. A pulley is a small wheel with a groove around its outer edge. The groove can hold a rope in position. A pulley together with a chain or a rope is used to lift objects. There are two types of pulleys, a fixed pulley and a movable pulley. The pulley used for drawing water from a well is a fixed pulley. It is fitted to some support. A rope is passed over the pulley. The bucket is tied to one end of the rope. A downward effort is applied at the other end of the rope and the bucket of water comes up. A fixed pulley makes work easier by changing the direction of force. A small pulley is also used on a flagpole to hoist a flag. Movable pulleys along with fixed pulleys are used to lift loads. Wheel and axle. We know that pushing a load on wheels is easier than carrying it, but the wheel by itself is not a simple machine. It becomes one only when a rod or an axle is attached to it. A wheel with a rod attached to it is known as a wheel and axle arrangement. Wheel and axle arrangements are used in most big machines. Find out about the wheel and axle arrangement used in vehicles, sewing machines, egg beaters and cycles. Screw. A screw is a type of modified inclined plane. It is a simple machine used to hold things tightly together. Screws are used in objects such as light bulb. Big screw jacks are used to lift cars and other heavy objects. Energy. To do any work, you need energy. It is the capacity for doing work. It makes things, machines, work. Energy also makes living things grow. Different forms of energy. Mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is the energy which is possessed by an object due to its motion or due to its position. Mechanical energy can be either kinetic energy, energy of motion, or potential energy, stored energy of position. A moving car possesses mechanical energy due to its motion, kinetic energy. A drawn bow possesses mechanical energy due to its stretched position, elastic potential energy. Solar energy. Solar energy is the most readily available source of energy. It is the most important source of energy because it is non-polluting. When we hang our clothes to dry in the sun, we use the energy of the sun. Similarly, solar panels absorb the energy of the sun to provide heat for cooking. Geothermal energy. The word geothermal comes from the Greek word geo, earth, and therme, heat. So, geothermal energy is heat from within the earth. We can use the steam and hot water produced inside the earth to heat buildings or generate electricity. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source because the water is replenished by rainfall and the heat is continuously produced inside the earth. Wind energy. Wind energy is plentiful, renewable, widely distributed, clean and non-polluting. Therefore, it is considered by experts to be more environment friendly than many other energy resources. Wind power is the conversion of wind energy into a useful form such as electricity using wind turbines. Hydropower, water energy. Of the renewable energy sources that generate electricity, hydropower is the most often used. It is one of the oldest sources of energy. It was used thousands of years ago to turn a paddle wheel to grind grain. Because the source of hydropower is water, hydroelectric power plants must be located on a water source. Heat energy. Heat is a form of energy. Other than the sun, we can get heat energy by burning fuels like wood, coal, kerosene and LPG. We cook food at home by using heat energy. Light energy. Light energy is used to see things. We cannot see things if there is no light other than the sun. Tube lights, lanterns and candles are some sources for light energy. Sound energy. Sound is vibration transmitted through a solid, liquid or gas. Sound is produced when a force causes an object or a substance to vibrate. Some sources of sound energy are music systems, musical instruments and radios. Electrical energy. Electrical energy is the movement of electrical charges. Electrical charges moving through a wire is called electricity. Most of the appliances that we use these days like washing machines, televisions, computers, tube lights, bulbs, fans, coolers, ACs and many appliances run on electricity. Key points. When we push or pull something, we apply force. A force can be used to move a stationary object, stop a moving object, make a moving object move faster, slow down a moving object, change the direction of a moving object and change the shape and size of an object. Forces are of different types: muscular, gravitational, frictional, electrostatic, mechanical and buoyant. Simple machines make our work easy. Simple machines can be grouped under lever, inclined plane, wedge, wheel and axle, pulley and screw. Energy is the ability to do work. According to the law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it always changes from one kind. Chapter